Hi, everyone, and welcome back to Life After 40, where we have real conversations about health, survival, wisdom, and everything in between that comes with this second chapter of life. Today's episode is very personal, but also very necessary. I'm going to talk to you about something I never expected to face, especially not in my early 40s, a massive heart attack, one that changed my life forever. I'm going to take you through what happened, what signs my body was giving me, signs I didn't fully understand at the time, and how we all need to become better listeners when our bodies whisper before they scream. So sit down, take a breath, and listen not just with your ears, but with your heart. This story might not be just about me. It might be about you too, or someone you love. Chapter 1, When It Hits Out of Nowhere. 8 months ago, I experienced something I never saw coming. I had a massive heart attack. I was 43 years old, not 73, not 83, but 43, and I had no idea that my life was about to flip on its head. You see, I've always had this persistent fear of cancer. That fear wasn't random. I lost my fiancé to cancer when our son was just 6 years old. So for me, health worry meant watching for lumps or unexplained fatigue. But I never thought my heart would be the problem. Even though heart disease ran in my family, I never really felt afraid of it. That might sound strange, but it's the truth. I had no chest pain, no shortness of breath, and no clue that danger was lurking quietly in the background. In fact, just 3 months before my heart attack, I had a stress test, one of those treadmill tests where they monitor your heart while you walk. It came back completely normal. I left the hospital that day thinking, see, I'm fine. But I wasn't fine. I just didn't know it yet. Chapter 2, The Body Always Warns. 6 months before the heart attack, I started to notice something weird. Not painful, not debilitating, but weird. My left bicep, just that one muscle, began to squeeze and release in a pulsing pattern, like a cramp that didn't hurt but felt unnatural. Every few minutes, I'd feel it tighten and then let go. It didn't matter if I was resting or moving. It kept happening. I tried not to panic. I made appointments with different specialists. They ran tests, asked questions, took scans, but no one had a clear answer. And since the sensation wasn't technically painful, I started to doubt myself. Maybe I was just anxious. Maybe it was nerve-related. Maybe I was imagining it, but I wasn't. Looking back now, I'm convinced that my body was trying to speak to me, to warn me that something was brewing. My heart, slowly being threatened by a blockage, was using my arm to send a signal. That signal was just subtle enough to be dismissed. That's the scary part. Chapter 3, The Night Everything Changed. It was a typical night. I was getting ready for bed, brushing my teeth, unwinding from the day. And then, out of nowhere, I got this wave of what felt like indigestion. A heavy, uncomfortable pressure in my stomach and chest. I thought, okay, maybe I ate something bad. I tried chewing a couple of Tums. I waited, expecting it to pass, but it didn't. The discomfort didn't get better. It got worse. My gut told me something was off, and for once, I listened to it. I turned to my husband and said, I need to go to the ER. That decision, right there, may have saved my life. We got in the car. The discomfort in my chest began to intensify. My left arm, that same bicep, started to burn. Not just squeeze, burn. And then the anxiety hit. But this wasn't ordinary anxiety. This was a feeling of doom. It's hard to describe if you've never felt it, but it's like every cell in your body is yelling, something is wrong. My heart rate dropped to 30 beats per minute. I felt myself fading, slipping toward unconsciousness. By the time we reached the hospital, I was in full-blown distress. They wheeled me into the trauma room and immediately placed the defibrillator pads on my chest. I'll never forget that moment. I had never been so scared in my life. Chapter 4, The Aftermath. They ended up transferring me to another hospital where a stent was placed in my heart. The procedure was done through my wrist, and I was given a sedative. Thankfully, I slept through most of it. After the surgery, they moved me again, this time to a third facility because the ICU beds were full. I arrived at around 2 a.m. and stayed in the ICU for about 8 hours before being moved to telemetry. They monitored my heart continuously and ran tests, including an echocardiogram. The cardiologist finally came in and said something I'll never forget. "Your heart is in great shape, aside from what just happened." That shook me. How could my heart be in great shape if I just had a massive heart attack? The answer lies in the word aside. The heart was structurally okay, but one artery was blocked. That blockage nearly ended everything. That's how fragile it can all be. Now I take Effient, a blood thinner, Lipitor to manage cholesterol, and a low-dose aspirin every day. They told me I'd need to stay on these for at least a year. Chapter 5. The lingering fear you'd think surviving something like that would bring relief. And it did, at first. But what I didn't expect was the psychological aftermath, anxiety, pure, raw anxiety. Before this experience, I didn't know what a panic attack really felt like. I thought I did. I was wrong. After the heart attack, I had several panic attacks, episodes where my chest would tighten, my thoughts would spiral, and my breathing would go wild. I haven't had one in a while now, but the anxiety, that's still with me. It lingers like a shadow, especially at night or when I feel something strange in my body. I'm always wondering, is it happening again? But I'm working on it, one breath at a time, one day at a time. Chapter 6. Recognizing the warning signs. Let's talk about the signs, not the dramatic ones we see on TV, the real ones, the ones that whisper. Here are the symptoms that might mean your body is preparing for a heart attack or stroke. 1. Unusual arm sensations, especially in the left arm or bicep. Tightness, squeezing, or burning that doesn't come from lifting weights or injury. 2. Persistent indigestion, a heavy, uncomfortable feeling in your stomach or chest that doesn't go away with antacids. 3. Pressure, not pain. Many people describe heart attack symptoms as a weight or tightness rather than stabbing pain. 4. Burning or tingling in the arms, chest, or jaw, especially if it comes out of nowhere and doesn't resolve quickly. 5. Shortness of breath. Feeling like you can't catch your breath even if you're just sitting or lying down. 6. Sudden fatigue. A crushing exhaustion that doesn't make sense and comes on suddenly. 7. Anxiety or feeling of doom. This is big. If you feel a wave of dread for no reason, listen to it. 8. Heart rate changes. Sudden drops or spikes in heart rate can be warning signs. These symptoms are not always dramatic. Sometimes they come slowly and subtly, but they matter. Chapter 7. How to be proactive. So, what can you do? Trust your body. If something feels off, it probably is. Don't brush it aside. Know your numbers, blood pressure, cholesterol, blood sugar. Monitor them regularly. Don't wait for chest pain. It might never come. Your symptoms could be very different. Get multiple opinions. If one doctor says you're fine, but your body says otherwise, see someone else. Talk about family history. It matters. Make sure your doctors know it. Surviving a heart attack changes everything. It humbles you. It forces you to slow down, reflect, and prioritize. But more than anything, it teaches you to listen, really listen, to your body, to those quiet symptoms, to the whispers before the storm. If this video spoke to you in any way, let me know by typing 1 in the comments. If it didn't quite land, type 0. Your feedback helps me improve and serve you better. I hope my story helps you or someone you love to catch those signs before they turn into an emergency. Stay informed, stay safe, and stay connected to your body. Until next time, take care of yourselves and each other.